It is 3 minutes to 9 o'clock East African time. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Daily Report right here on TV 47, the home of untold stories. My name is George Maringa, our sign language interpreter tonight. At the bottom end of your screen is Roda Nyamai. Now, this show is taking place just a day after the back to school happened, and remember, this has been a situation where we've seen the education calendar being disrupted once again. The last time this happened was during the COVID-19 pandemic period. Tonight on the program, we assess back to school, a spotlight on the state of learning. Where are you watching us from? We invite your feedback. How has the situation been like in your area? And of course, tonight we shall be seeking to interrogate from the education policy consultants, as well as the Deputy Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Teachers, as well as the CEO of Parents Association, as well as the Director, Kenya Private Sector Alliance, Private Sector Alliance, Education, ICT, Sports and Culture, and also we'll be hearing from a teacher, a conversation that encompasses everyone in this sector to be able to analyze and look at how the education sector is looking like moving forward. We thank you for joining us right here on TV 47. I'm at George Maringa _ across the social media platforms. You can also post at Muyakane, at Linda _Alela. Victor will be joining us on the program later on this evening. But in the meantime, that conversation that will be happening from just about 9:30 p.m. will be coming your way. But first, here are some of the top stories making headlines. How did Agriculture CS Mithika Linturi manage to evade impeachment?
3 on the gross misconduct as outlined in the special motion are unsubstantiated.
Tonight, we shine the spotlight on the minority report of the National Assembly's Select Committee, which strongly advocated for the CS's dismissal. The Kikuyu Council of Elders gives blessings to the Azimio wing to convene the Limuru 3 meeting.
Viongozi wa kisiasa na viongozi wa aina yoyote waungane na hawa ambao wamekuja na wameanza hii mjadala ya Limuru 3.
Plus,
as from 16th, that is Thursday, we will be withdrawing all the staffs, anesthetists, critical care, and all the staffs under the Ministry of Health.
The Council of Governors starts discussions with the Kenyan Union of Clinical Officers to address outstanding issues outlined in their strike notice.
Issues of the UHC, the Council of Governors are saying that is an issue of the national government because it is the one that is paying them.
A section of our guests are already here in studio. That conversation on back to school will be coming your way later on the program. And to our top story tonight, which coincides with the subject of discussion on the People's Court tonight. More schools remain closed on day 2 of back to school, despite the government's directive to have schools reopened for second term starting Monday this week. A spot check by TV 47 revealed that some schools are closed due to the effects of floods that caused massive destruction. And as Andrin Kilemi now reports, some schools and teachers are likely to have a difficult time in ensuring the syllabus is adequately covered by the time second term ends.
Tucked in Nairobi's Mathare area is Why Not Academy, a once vibrant school whose classrooms now remain empty despite the government's directive to reopen schools for the second term starting this week Monday. According to one of the teachers here, the school has not resumed its normalcy due to flood damage that led to massive destruction.
Classes na library, maji interfere nazo. Vile wazazi bado wako na ule uoga wa kuwaleta watoto tena shuleni.
Veronica Nyambura, who resides in Mathare and has a child enrolled at the primary school, revealed the devastation left behind by floods, showing the remnants of her house. Nyambura says on the night of destruction, her priority was to save her children, leaving her unable to salvage anything else.
Vitabu zimekuwa damaged hapo na maji, zingine zilibebwa zikaenda, vitabu, ma uniform, viatu, yani hakuna venye watu wanaweza rudi shule saa hii mpaka tujipange tu. So hata nikiulizwa ningesema tu hiyo government ongeze tu time ya watu hii wakae home mpaka tupate hizo vitu. Sasa hata hakuna kitu ungetoa, ni watoto tu wako. Una save kwanza uhai kwanza. Tulitoa tu kwanza watoto. By the time tunarudi maji ishatoka na kila kitu.
Elsewhere in Mwea West, pupils attending Kangai Primary School are forced to travel a 10-kilometer journey to reach school after Kiwe River Bridge was swept away by floods. Residents now calling on the government to intervene and aid in the construction of a new bridge.
Sasa watoto wetu wa sukulu na sukulu iko hapa Kangai, tunawasungusha mpaka wafike kule. Daraja yenye ilibembwa sababu kenye kalitengenezwa ni kandoko. Kako kenye kalitengenezwa akambebi uzito wa maji.
Meanwhile, NAK Kenya party leader Martha Karua has criticized the government for reopening schools without finding alternative homes for displaced persons.
Wangesema wanafungua na tuone kasi ikiendelea ya kuondoa watu kwa mashule na kuwapeleka kwa temporary shelters. Tungeona mipango ya kusaidia zile shule kusafisha hiyo mashule iliingiwa na maji kila mahali. Tungeona usaidizi kama vitu ya shule imeharibika. Tungeona mpango ya kuwasaidia wajisimamie.
The challenges experienced now may disrupt the school calendar and pose additional challenges for teachers in certain schools in fully completing the syllabus by the end of the second term. Andrine Kilemi, TV 47.
Thank you, Andrine, for that, and we shall be picking the minds of our guests tonight on that specific issue and others that will be divulging later on the People's Court. Now, while allegations continue regarding MPs being bribed to save Agriculture CS Franklin Mithika Linturi, tonight we examine the reasons minority members cited for dismissing CS Linturi from his position. And as Paul Kirobi tells us, one significant factor revolves around the sudden disappearance of two advocates without prior notice.
The four members of parliament representing the Azimio la Umoja coalition, including Robert Mbuyi of Kathiani, Honorable TJ Kajwang of Ruaraka, Catherine Omanyo of Busia, and Yusuf Farah, submitted a dissenting report asserting that the grounds for Linturi's dismissal was substantiated. According to Honorable Catherine Omanyo, the summons for PS Paul Kiprono Rono were warranted because in his testimony, the CS maintained that he was not responsible for procurement and distribution of fake fertilizer. Instead, the accounting officer was held responsible for the matter. The minority report further indicates that there were copies of press statement to Mr. Davesh suggesting that he was being coerced into making admissions that essentially exonerated the CS of any liability under the fake fertilizer scandal. Instead, these statements incriminated himself. At the time of requesting the summons, Mr. Davesh had been apprehended and has since been charged in the court of law for, among other things, fraud in relation to the fake fertilizer scandal. The committee's minority report also raised concerns about the chairperson of the committee regarding the disappearance of two advocates without notice, Mwangale Robert Wanyonyi and Dome from Senior Counsel Kaminwa's legal team, went missing under mysterious circumstances. It is reported that the two disappeared from the premises just before the afternoon session, and despite communication from Senior Counsel John Kaminwa, the committee took the matter lightly, even though the committee was unaware of their whereabouts. The minority viewed that unless the two witnesses are summoned before the 11-member committee, the committee would be unable to determine whether the CS was involved in gross misconduct or violated the Constitution. 7 members of the committee voted against CS Linturi's removal from office, while only 4 members supported his removal. Paul Kirobi, TV 47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Paul, for that. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, has recommended amendments to the Anti-Corruption Act to aid in its fight against corruption. Amongst the recommendations is the Commission using recovered funds to meet some of its budget needs. Also, it has recommended the existence of laws that bar those accused of corruption from office to prevent interference of witnesses. Sheila Chelangat has more information.
In the report released today, the Commission says it received more than 5,000 corruption reports, of which bribery-related reports accounted for 31%.
But somebody can ask critically, does that 31% constitute the value of loss as a result of corruption in this country? Or maybe there's one that covers only 4% unexplained wealth.
In addition, there were 512 cases under investigations related to corruption, including cases of investigation on the irregular tendering award in the Ruiru 2, Karimenu and Kitui Matu water projects worth more than 26 billion. The Commission has mentioned that it succeeded in preventing the loss of 4.74 billion through its investigations. 62 cases which were in courts have been completed, but 214 others are still pending. In addition, 40 cases in relation to illegally acquired and unexplained assets resulting in 6.63 billion Kenyan shillings were traced.
So if the law would be changed so that we can benefit from some of the resources that we actually recover from the various ones, I think it would make it much easier for us to be able to get enough resources to do our work.
The Commission has now recommended the amendment of the Anti-Corruption Act in the Constitution to aid in its mandate.
To prevent this, you would like legislation to be amended so that these people are barred from accessing their offices until the cases are concluded, either they are found guilty or innocent, and then they can go back into their offices.
This recommendation comes at a time when EACC has intensified its crackdown on corruption with numerous high-profile cases, highlighting the need for mechanisms to manage and reutilize recovered assets. Sheila Chelangat for TV 47.
Thank you, Sheila, for that. The Council of Governors has kick-started talks with the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers with a view to iron out outstanding issues as captured in their strike notice. The clinicians have now threatened to rope in anesthetists in the ongoing strike. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, COG has maintained that matters finance can only be addressed with by the national government.
It is day 44 of the clinical officers' strike, and today the clinicians pitched tent at the COG offices in Nairobi as the officials, Peterson Wachira and George Gibore, held their first ever meeting with the Council of Governors. However, the meeting was not that fruitful as the clinicians have now threatened to paralyze critical care services in public health facilities in the next 48 hours.
So as from 16, that is Thursday, the midnight of tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be withdrawing all the staffs, anesthetists, critical care, and all the staffs under the Ministry of Health.
For instance, this is an internal memo at the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital dated the 14th of May 2024, where the acting director of clinical services has issued a notice on temporary suspension of elective theatre list and operations.
Your Excellencies, in Ruiru Sub-County hospitals we speak now, there is a BSc clinic officer who is employed there and is earning 18,000 per month.
Top on the list for the striking clinicians is the absorption of UHC staff on permanent and pensionable terms. This issue has been amplified as the UHC staff contracts are set to expire by the end of this month.
The issues of the UHC, the Council of Governors are saying that is an issue of the national government because it is the one that is paying them, it is the one that is employing them.
On its part, the Council of Governors has maintained that they can only meet the clinicians' demands if the national government, through Treasury, disburses the funds.
Even if it has to do with the resources that are beyond the counties again, it becomes a national agenda.
With regards to the implementation of the 2021 CBA, the Council of Governors has asked for more time to hold negotiations and deliberate on the way forward.
Collective bargaining agreement is not on the table because it does not exist.
Governor Mudhomi, the CBA is on the table because we have been negotiating. We have negotiated 80%. What is remaining is about 80%. It's not actually something that can even take us more than 2 weeks.
We have taken the position in terms of accepting to coordinate or rather to negotiate centrally for the CBA in the next 60 days.
Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for that. Former Amani National Congress Party ANC Secretary General Simon Gikuru has been appointed as the Deputy Controller of State House after the position has been vacant for a long time. Gikuru was previously appointed as Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communications and the Digital Economy before the positions were scrapped off by the courts, according to a letter signed by Chief of Staff and Head of the Public Service Felix Koskei. The move was with the approval of the Public Service Commission. Koskei said the president, that is William Ruto, had also appointed Ambassador Lazarus Amayo as a special envoy of the African Union champion for institutional reforms to support the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs in steering his unique mandate. Now, the Energy Regulatory and Petroleum Authority, EPRA, has announced, the Energy, Petroleum and Regulatory Authority, EPRA, has announced the new fuel prices to take effect from midnight to June 14th this year. In the recent review, fuel prices have dropped, with petrol decreasing by 1 shilling per litre, diesel and kerosene decreased by 1 shilling and 20 cents per litre and 1 shilling and 30 cents per litre respectively. Following the changes, motorists in Nairobi will be charged 192 shillings and 84 cents for a litre of petrol, 179 shillings and 18 cents for diesel, and 168 shillings and 76 cents for kerosene. Those in Kisumu will be charged 192 shillings and 66 cents for a litre of petrol, 179 shillings and 39 cents for diesel, and 169 shillings and 1 cent for kerosene. Motorists in Mombasa will pay 189 shillings and 66 cents for super petrol, 176 shillings and 1 cent for diesel, and 165 shillings and 69 cents for kerosene. Now, as President William Ruto presided over the swearing-in ceremony of 20 High Court judges at State House, Nairobi on Tuesday, it was the clearest of indications that the judiciary is striving to enhance its service delivery with the goal of resolving 12,000 pending cases across various High Court divisions countrywide. President Ruto additionally pledged to increase funding for the judiciary in the national budget, as reported by Muige William.
I, Alice Chepngetich Betsoi,
State House, Nairobi.
Judge of the High Court.
President William Ruto presided over the swearing-in of the 20 High Court judges who are recommended by the Judicial Service Commission for appointment. The task ahead for the 20 newly appointed judges will not be an easy one, as they are expected to spearhead clearing of close to 12,000 cases within the next 6 months. Under the recently launched Rapid Results Initiative by the Judiciary, the judges are expected to oversee the clearance of backlog pending in the family, civil, criminal, anti-corruption, constitutional and human rights, judicial review and commercial and tax divisions of the High Court for the next 6 months.
As the executive, we have a strong interest in an effective and efficient judiciary because our nation's economy and security and the people's rights and freedom depend on it.
In the Nairobi metropolitan area and through the next phase of the initiative, the judiciary aims to resolving an additional 9,000 cases. According to the Chief Justice Martha Koome, the next phase of the RRI will target the wider Nairobi metropolitan area with the aim of resolving the additional 9,000 cases. President Ruto, congratulating the newly appointed judges, urged them to uphold integrity and professionalism when discharging their duties.
We will be judged not by how well we serve the strong and influential, but how well we support and protect the weak, the poor, and the vulnerable.
The president reiterated that his administration intends to ensure more funding is allocated to the judiciary with an aim to ensure the enhancement of judiciary's capacity to deliver justice in every part of Kenya. This while lauding the creation of small claims courts, stating it has brought justice closer to mwananchi, aiding in reducing cases.
We have increased our budgetary allocation to sectors combating corruption and promoting justice and accountability since 2022-2023 financial year, from Kenya shillings 87 billion to Kenya shillings 108 billion in the current financial year.
The swearing in of the 20 judges brings to a total of 98 High Court judges across the country. The Judicial Service Commission is from next month slated to conduct interviews for Court of Appeal judges to fill the 11 positions recently advertised for. Mwegi William, TV 47.
Congratulations to the Honorable Justices. Police officers have arrested 40 suspects after being implicated in the murder of a 60-year-old man in the Kandas area of Narok town. The 40 were apprehended by police officers after being found inside the house where the elderly man had died as they allegedly carried out their illicit activities.
The lined-up procession contains 40 suspects who are suspected to be involved in the murder of a 60-year-old. One after the other, they got handcuffed by the police officers. The situation gets restless within this building, named as Nyati in Kanda, after the discovery of an unidentified body in Narok County. In astonishment, people hover around the windows, questioning who was killed and who killed them.
Kufikia wakati huu bado hatujamjua vizuri, lakini tunaendelea kufuatilia tuweze kujua yeye ni nani.
This procession has found itself on the wrong side of the law after being found conducting their usual activities, regardless of where the body was found, in the same building. Confirming the incident, County OCPD John Momanyi emphasized how paramount personal security is.
Ni vizuri wananchi wakuwe makini. Haswa wajue ya kwamba hali ya usalama inaanza na wewe mwenyewe, personal safety wewe mwenyewe. Haswa wakati huu ambapo labda ni wakati wa kurudi shule, labda watu wanatembea na pesa, pengine unaingia na sehemu zingine za burudani.
Additionally, Momanyi said that the investigation into the cause of the death has set sail as the body awaits autopsy. Momanyi also pleaded with the public to relay information that might be helpful to their investigation.
Anzisha uchunguzi kuweza kujua ni kipi ambacho kilikuwa kimetokea pale, na zaidi ya hapo tujue what was the motive. Ni nini kiliweza kusababisha yule jamaa kuweza kuuliwa sehemu ile.
Ruge Evil, TV 47.
Thank you, Ruga, for that. Tonight, the Kikuyu Council of Elders has endorsed and given their blessings to this Friday's planned Limuru 3 meeting and rallied the region's political leaders to unite for the sake of the Gema Nation. The elders, who held a sitting with the meeting conveners at their headquarters in Kiambu County, said the meeting will heal the scars of the 2022 post-election fallout and give direction and hope to a region whose businesses are crumbling due to what they called punitive taxes. Apollo Kamau reports.
The quest to unite the Mount Kenya region moved a notch higher on Tuesday at the Kikuyu Council of Elders headquarters in Kiambu County, where the elders endorsed this Friday's Limuru 3 meeting, while extending an olive branch to the UDA brigade in the Mount Kenya region to attend the meeting for the sake of the region.
Hawa wazee wamepatia hawa wapangaji wa Limuru 3 baraka, na tunawauliza wale wakuu wengine, wakubwa wengine, viongozi wa kisiasa na viongozi wa aina yoyote waungane na hawa ambao wamekuja na wameanza hii mjadala ya Limuru 3.
The meeting, expected to bring together close to 30 political parties, led by the conveners Mother Karua of NARC Kenya And Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni has dismissed the tribal tag, saying the region's economy is under threat due to punitive taxes crippling businesses and losses on the region's cash crops across the Gema nation.
All the measures that have been taken to initiate new taxes is a way of finishing our ability to survive in business.
Hii sio kitu ya watu fulani, ni kitu ya watu wote ambao wamekasirishwa na uongozi ambao uko sahihi, kama vile wazee wamesema, kutoka mwaka wa 2022.
One man, one vote, one shilling. Neguo.
UDA leaders, led by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who has revived the one man, one vote and one shilling call, have distanced themselves from Friday's meeting, claiming it's anti-government amid claims of intimidation from UDA leaders.
Waheshimiwa wengine kama Ichung'wa akisema ati atafuruga mkutano wa Limuru. Mkutano wa Limuru ni wa watu wote wa Mount Kenya, adhubutu ili atujue sisi. Kama vile hawa wazee wamesema, hii mambo ilianzishwa na baba zetu na babu zetu walipoanza Mau Mau. Na sisi ni watoto wa Mau Mau.
Despite political differences and claims of intimidation, ahead of Friday's meeting, leaders from the Mount Kenya region are under intense pressure over Kenya Kwanza's taxation policy, which people in the region say is hurting their livelihoods. Apul Kamau, TV47.
Let's get sporty. The finals of the 2024 Europe Day Kenya Football Tournament will be held this Friday at Ulinzi Sports Complex in Nairobi County. 8 under-18 boys and girls teams qualified for the grand finale with air tickets to Romania up for grabs. The inaugural competition began in March this year in Marsabit County, traversing 4 counties. Tony Kwalanda paints a picture of how May 17th will look like.
Romania's national football squads will conduct a training camp for the boys and girls teams which emerge victorious in the finals of the 2024 Europe Day Kenya Football Tournament. The under-18 finals will be held at Ulinzi Sports Complex in Nairobi County this Friday, the 17th of May, and entry is free. Out of the 64 teams that participated in the inaugural competition, 8 from 4 counties will be fighting for the top 3 prizes. Marsabit County hosted the first round in March, where Dakabaricha and Gadamoji advanced to the finals.
It's giving us a platform where we can choose, even from the young ones, the talents that we can nurture and link them to higher heights.
Ringa boys and Kobala girls from Homa Bay County also progressed to the grand finale.
I know that you're going to go to Nairobi for the Europe Day Football Tournament, and I know that you're going to come back with the trophy.
Kilifi County will be represented by Kachororoni girls and Mukongani on the big day.
For us as a county, it's about nurturing talent. It's about giving the boys and girls an opportunity.
Highway Secondary and Dagoretti Mixed will be the flag bearers of Nairobi County.
Mafans wetu watoke tu wengi na kwa teammates tujisukume tuicheze.
Tunakaribisha mashabiki wote wakuje wajionea, wale wa kutoka ushago tuwaonyeshe sisi ndo tuko watoto wa Sakaja.
The top teams will fly to Romania later this year, while the other podium finishers will undergo training by champions Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards. The best players in both categories will also be rewarded.
We will start with the semi-finals in the morning and play the overall finals in the afternoon.
This football extravaganza celebrates Europe Day, which is marked on the 9th of May each year. In addition, 2 significant competitions will be held in Europe this year: the Euro 2024 in Germany and the Paris Olympics. Tony Kwalanda, TV47 Sport.
Thank you, Tony Kolanda, for that. 20 coaches have today completed their Confederation of African Football coaching course program at the Mathare Youth Sports Association grounds in Komarok. This is among strategies that Football Kenya Federation are putting in place as they intensify their efforts of upgrading the state of Kenya's football.
Sana juu hapa nimepata knowledge. At first nilikuwa tu na ile knowledge yangu nilikuwa najua nikicheza. But kucheza na kucoach nimekuja kuona ni two different things.
I come to realize. So kitu ilinifanya niweze kwenda kwa hii coaching course nilikuwa nataka nijue sasa structures za coaching na knowledge ya coaching niweze kupata so that hata saa ile na coach from a point of knowledge, si a point of experience. Sababu si kila mtu akona experience ya kucheza anaweza coach. So going forward nadhani hii knowledge nimepata. It has been a 10-day coaching course, CAFD license.